All right. Well, listen, everyone, thank you all for your time. We appreciate you attending today. Great opportunity to be with you. So my name is Eric Anderson, and I'm a director of business development here with eVerge. We're really proud to be a key Oracle implementation partner now for about 30 years. And we're also really excited today to really sponsor this educational webinar that's going to be centered around Oracle's Human Capital Management Cloud Suite, which is really truly built for you, designed for you, and it's built for change. So today, we'll begin with a presentation from Guy Waterman, who is Oracle's global strategy lead, and then we'll talk kind of about a path to the cloud, where Oracle is specifically today, and kind of a look into Oracle's progressive roadmap to the future. And then we'll segue into an executive product demo with Megan O'Brien so that you can really see firsthand that Oracle vision in action. And then we'll conclude with a glimpse into eVerge and how we can really meet you with where you are today and strategically support you in your company's goals and long-term cloud journey. Now, throughout the session today, I really encourage everyone to ask any questions via chat. We'll be actually working to monitor that throughout the entire duration and help to address any questions that arise there. And then also finally at the end, please stick around at the end of our webinar as we will be drawing 6 fantastic prizes. So if you stick around, you can win. And without further ado, let me hand the baton to Guy Waterman and we can jump right in.
And thanks, Eric. I am going to go ahead and jump over to here. And you should see my desktop. You guys seeing everything okay, or is it too small?
Yep, you're good.
Perfect. Thanks, Megan. I appreciate the feedback. So I will also start my live video so you guys know I'm not just a chat bot that's sitting back here reading off of some kind of a pre-organized script. So eVerge and Eric, thank you so much for hosting us today. We really enjoy the opportunity of working with you all and having the chance to share with customers and prospective customers some of the advantages of the Cloud HCM solution. My name is Guy Waterman, and I am part of the development organization. I have been part of our creation of the Cloud HCM solution within our Fusion applications from the very beginning, from being able to work with the product even before it had an official name. So I'm super excited to share some of those insights with you all, and I'm really going to be doing this as an introduction to the proof point when the real star of the show, Megan O'Brien, will be sharing with you what the product looks like, what it's doing, and how it's working. And I'll be hanging out in the background, picking up on chat. A couple housekeeping items, though. I know that we may end up having drop-ins from some of the eVerge folks as they end up providing you some content around how customers have used the solution in the implementations that they've done, how eVerge has actually used the Cloud HCM solution to the benefit of their organization, and then also taking a look at just any anecdotes that are out there. So we may end up having drop-ins from folks, and just be aware of that. What I wanted to do, and what I hope that you can come through this solution with, here we go. One is not the safe harbor statement, but because I'm part of development, I might be talking about some things that are part of the roadmap. I'll call them out if I do. But I want to make this just a super simple introduction to what we're doing from an overall perspective with Cloud HCM and Fusion applications. Because as you know, from an applications perspective, Oracle provides a full suite of solutions, and they are built on the same platform. They were built at the same time, and they leverage the same Oracle Cloud and the same cloud components. And our goal that was given to us by our leadership when we started working on the product is we want to make sure that this is a very complete solution. We didn't want our customers to have to be spending time bolting in and connecting to other solutions. And while we've done that to accelerate some adoption, we've also come back and basically replaced that functionality with natively built content. And the example of that would be what we were doing from an HCM perspective, acquiring the Taleo talent acquisition solution to accelerate the adoption of recruiting capabilities, because that was a key gap that we wanted our customers to be able to overcome. And now that has been superseded by the Oracle Recruiting Cloud, and customers have the option to be able to go ahead and migrate into the Oracle Recruiting Cloud. But I'll get to you a little bit more detail on some of the things we're doing around everything that you need in just a second. The other thing that we're looking at, and this is the part that I love it, you saw what my focus is that I work with people analytics, innovation, and the cloud HCM technology. So this second piece is really the part that I love to focus on, and that is innovation that you can use. A lot of times we look at capabilities that are out there and we wonder, wouldn't it be cool if? Well, our directive is to make it, no, that is cool. Let's enable it so that our customers can try new capabilities, whether it's around automated intelligence, conversational user experiences, being able to extend solutions using business processes and without limits, right? And be able to make sure that those are update safe. So another thing, and I'll share some things with you, what that's done for our customers from an innovation perspective. And then lastly, that second S in SaaS, software as a service, is really, really important. And we're focused on your success, and that second S in SaaS, really focused on trying to deliver the how-tos and the whys behind what's going on within HCM Cloud and how you can actually take advantage of the capabilities that we're delivering and do it in a manner that's going to align with your resource schedule and with your other commitment schedules that you have, because we all know that you're not out there just trying to keep a cloud system running. We're out there trying to leverage and run our businesses, but leverage the solution in with that. So on the everything that you need front, I really have found that this is a really good way for us to explain how the solution has so many different components to it. And when we first started building Cloud HCM, there was a core component to this. You look at payroll and personnel. If you are, been around the industry as long as I've been in the industry, you'll know that we used to call it human resources, not human capital management. And what's the difference? Well, HR is pretty much payroll, personnel, and compliance. But what we've seen over the years is that we recognize the value of human resources, and we're really focused on some of the capabilities that are within the overall suite of applications. So let's start. I'm going to work our way from the bottom up. And that's the single cloud platform that provides you your security, provides you a lot of the built-in functionalities that we have surfaced from the Oracle Cloud perspective that helps you configure pages and author business rules and be able to do the configuration in the system that you're looking for. That enables, and those are the tools, by the way, that are the same ones that we use for our financials cloud, for the supply chain cloud, for CX, for even our student and campus solutions that are being delivered at this point. So those are all the same toolkits that we have for Oracle Fusion applications. Now, within that, we also have a lot of automation and analysis that we're delivering as well. So productized versions of our applications, like HCM analytics, like looking at our advanced controls for HCM. And then we get up into those traditional functional areas that span the entire employee and workforce lifecycle. So that's that hire to retire employee lifecycle. And there's so many different components in here, don't want to confuse you on it, but that core HR benefits, the onboarding capabilities, our absence management, taking a look at payroll interfaces, those are available just as part of that core HR solution. And Molly and team can help you with understanding which pieces fit with which. But the rest of it ends up being you choose how much of this that you want to bite off at a time. So it's everything that you need, but it also is, when do I need it? So that you're not having to be overwhelmed with a lot of solutions basically being provided to you at one time that you're not quite sure what to do with them. So we enable you to bring those capabilities in, and we have customers that we're working with that will bring up their core that matches their high priorities. And then following their go live, they then begin to prioritize what's the next thing that they want to be able to bring on. And it doesn't require a whole lot of effort because you're really just enabling new processes and building on data that exists in the application already. So next, innovation that matters. Innovation that matters is important because you get that opportunity to try things out. I know that we've all heard about some things that are going on in industry that may be really cool, or that we've been working out on a internet social site where we can talk back to an application and it provides us information. We can do searches super simply. Applications are actually able to be configured and it recognizes who we are. It's like the weather application that knows where you are based upon the location of your device, and it gives you the local weather correctly for those things. So we're looking at that as well from a platform, human resources, and a talent acquisition perspective, and providing you the same types of capabilities. Now you see the dates at the bottom, 2011, 2023. Now you may want to take a note, this may end up being one of those questions that Eric may ask you later, but when did we go to market with the Cloud HCM solution first? It's right there on the left-hand side of the page, and that's 2011. And that's when the product first came to market. And you're going to see here that our focus was building core payroll and core benefits and HR type capabilities, as well as the talent management foundation. As we've moved over time, we really have focused into advanced innovation capabilities. And those are all going to be up here on the top part of the solution, where we're going to see automated intelligence. We're going to see recommendations and nudging, process-driven automation with personalization. We also have conversational. That's all the rage, it seems like at this point, because it's on the news every other night. But how are we embedding that and using it to your advantage? And then taking a look at things like out-of-the-box integrations, because I may have time clocks that I need to integrate with. I may have other countries where I've got a small number of employees, but I need to integrate with that local payroll service that's out there, tax filing capabilities. So those integrations are things that we want to make sure that it's not a challenge for you to have to create the integration. We're delivering it and we support those things. But as you see some of the innovations as we go further along to the right, these are as the years have progressed. What you're seeing is that there's a steady increase of innovative solutions that are out there. It was really based upon the latest incarnation of that cloud platform, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, and that has enabled us to accelerate the rate of innovation that's being introduced in the product. Things like the digital assistant are included with the Cloud HCM solution. You can try it out as much as you need to, and we have delivered over 140 different what are called intense service interactions that are delivered with that, with the digital assistant. Same thing as we're looking at from the configurability standpoint. You can put business rules around which fields that you want to display on a page very easily, and that's included with the application as part of that platform. And then the other things that you're seeing in here, and they should be familiar to you if you're a PeopleSoft or an EBS customer, if you're coming from any other HR solution, you're going to see that these are typically areas where we have to apply with maybe a social media site like LinkedIn, where we're looking at the ability for us to go ahead and integrate recommendations and nudges that you're thinking about doing with your current system. We built that into the application itself. We continue to accelerate the level of innovation so that you're not having to do that one. And from that second S as a service, we were talking about software as a service, we know, and we're delivering this with a customer-based community called Cloud Customer Connect. If you were to go out today and just use your favorite search engine and look for Oracle Cloud Customer Connect, and you have an Oracle ID, you should be able to access the system. If you're an on-premise customer with Oracle, if you have a relationship with Oracle, you should be able to access that and be able to see what kind of information is out there for the products that you currently own. And there are even places that you can go to and get additional information about our cloud applications. Our customers use this site extensively. I know that this week I was part of our team that we have monthly office hours, and we did digital assistant leveraging in here as well. We have done analytics, monthly office hours. We also have integration and technology, monthly office hours. And you can see that that's part of the content that we deliver as events every month. And those are regular cadences that we work with, and they're live so that people can go ahead and speak with us here. And then we also have customers that are we have our system integrators like eVerge that are part of the community as well. You can post questions out there. And this actually extends the level of connectivity beyond in your on-premise world, you probably had two named people that could call a service line. And if they weren't one of the two people, then you didn't get your service request or question answered. Out here, anyone that's within your organization can represent your team out on Cloud Customer Connected Community, post questions, post enhancement requests, and they are responded to. And you're going to find that we've got partners that love this as a way to meet customers, but then also as a way to find out those best practices. You also can connect with customers around the world and be able to see the kinds of interactions that we're delivering with the solutions. Now, when we're talking about addressing the greatest challenges, I'm going to watch my time here. So, Eric, I know if I see you coming in and saying, "Guy, it's about time," just let me know. But I really want to help you all understand what we're doing and what our thought process is here, because it's really going to set up Megan for the demonstration and provide context for you around the demonstrations that we're going to be providing you. We want to address your top issues. Bar none, if you were to summarize what the top issues are for companies across the world at this time, even more than they're looking at profitability, they're looking at different compliance regulations and privacy issues. The number one issue that has come up, regardless of application, is I need to be able to access talent when I need it, the right talent at the right time. And that's really breaking down from an HCM standpoint across the HR departments, across your line of business managers, to being able to attract the best talent that you can, become that stalwart pillar in the community that people are always going to go to and say, "I want to work there." Secondly, once you get the best people, you've spent the money to hire them, and then you're training them, you want to continue to grow them. You want to help them understand that there is a path forward working with your organization. And you want to find out what they want. And that's the keep the best component as well. And what we've done is really translated that, though, into what are employees really looking for, because that's all sounding really good. Hey, Guy, I know I need to attract, I need to, grow, I need to keep the best. But how does that translate into product areas? And what we've done is really taken a look at this from an employee's perspective, because it is an employee's world. It used to be that, I know when I first came in industry, that it was, you just worked hard because that was the thing to do. That was what was expected. Now you're actually trying to work with employees, because we've asked a lot of them. They work overtime, maybe without not getting paid. They are looking at trying to connect with their coworkers, which we would have taken for granted. When I first came to technology, I was working with people that were in the same career development program classes, and we all lived in the same town. We all came to the office every day, but not today. They're working from their home. And then we start looking at, well, how do we then give them a sense that there's a path forward other than doing what you do and just getting better at what your current job is? What's the future hold for you? And that's really where we did a lot of research and looking at employees to find out, what do they want? And that is that they want to be able to find belonging. They're looking at feeling understood. They want to work the way that they want to work. They want to use the tools, whether it's a mobile device, whether it's analytics driven, whether it is business process oriented or giving videos to help. They would like that. And they want to have assistance there, sometimes with human assistance, sometimes with automated assistance. And they want a clear path forward. They know if the employees that I know that are out there that have been hired on, Oracle hires many people directly at an entry-level position. And the reason why they stay invariably is that they have a clear path forward. They know what the future holds for them and what their opportunities are. And that's been clearly communicated to them. And the other thing is we're trying to empower workers to really do the right things and to give them the tools that they need so that they can operate at their best. And from an HCM standpoint, we've built that into 5 steps that really come into this know me, see me, hear me, include me, and help me components. Translating that comes down to targeted communications. Now, we all know that we can segment user populations and we can actually send them specific messages, but the right message at the right time has been found to be the difference between someone looking for a job outside the organization and really committing to focus on trying to stay with the organization and grow with the teams. Personalized guidance is How difficult is it for me to find my answers? How difficult is it for me to work with you? Notice I'm focusing on the difficult part because people, that's their human nature, is that they're looking at it. But if I start using their name, their position, the context that they're in, I see that you're based in Austin, Texas. You know that there are great opportunities at this point, but we also want to make sure that you're getting out to enjoy the weather this spring. Personalize it so that you kind of know who they are. You would think that automation enables that to happen. Let's go the extra mile and make sure that they feel that way. The continuous action and engagement is really that we know that we are all working with systems on a continual basis. Why don't we gather that information and use it to understand what your sentiment is, to understand, are you happy? Are you actually feeling empowered? Are you feeling challenged at work? Are you looking for other capabilities? And when you're not, let your manager know that there's a time that, hey, you may want to check with Guy because his sentiment seems to be trailing off. Maybe do a follow-up with him, a check-in with him. And we actually do that within the applications these days. So we can recommend to your line managers how to better manage the teams and grow those teams and keep them on top of things. I know that I manage some folks and I don't want to be a bad manager. I want to do things without being overbearing as well. And those are the kinds of tools that we use internally to make sure that we stay engaged with our teams. There's also HR service delivery and complete experiences. That's the end-to-end process management. But how are we helping people find that belonging that they're looking for? One is we want to work where you work. We want to provide that content for you in a very familiar user experience that's also available on the devices that you frequently use. When I'm working from my desktop, you should see this. I've got the command center here. I've got two big monitors. I've got my laptop going. I've got my video camera on. But when I go out, I also need the ability to see things, and that's going to be on my mobile device. And I don't want to have to learn a whole new system or to download a lot of software and have data that's out there. And if I lose my phone, oh my goodness, did I just lose some of the company's most sensitive information? No, I just want it to work. I want to be able to press a button connect me from my email, connect me from Microsoft Teams and get me what I want. And then connect me with Megan, connect me with Molly and make sure that I can get access to them when I need to as well, because we have a quick question and it should be a seamless experience. The other way to connect is to also connect with relevant opportunities for me. So as I'm looking at this, is there an opportunity to volunteer? Is there an opportunity for me to do some gig work? Because one of my passions is teaching. And then I want to interact with new employees that are coming on board at Oracle and show them what's possible and what does the future hold for them. Are there different paths that they can actually take and extend their growth and hopefully be able to do some really cool things within the organization as well? So that's really finding belonging and that feeling understood component. I don't mind providing information if I know that it's going to help me out. Well, that's what we're doing here, is that we want the ability for employees to be connected with, but then also manage their own selves. It's like, boy, I know I felt down the last couple of weeks, but I didn't realize that my sentiment was really trailing off. Oh, but is there an opportunity for me to actually improve that? One is self-reflection, but the other is to share with my manager what is going on, and am I actually touching base with all the people on our team to keep up with what's going on here. We also have the ability to do case management. We have the ability to do a lot of service delivery components. Unique within the cloud, Oracle Cloud HCM is HR help desk is very unique to our capabilities. And we've seen a lot of customers deploy this and see a transformation within their organization as a result of deploying that, because they're just connecting with their teams much more effectively. Working my way, this one is the one, I love this one because it talks about the digital assistant. My first exposure to the Oracle digital assistant was in 2016, and we were at a toy company based in California. They were very innovative. They wanted to do these things. It was all speech driven. We've since embedded the digital assistant in all of the HCM solutions. We actually provide more intents and skills within the HCM solution than any other Fusion application. And we're going to continue to invest in this. We've extended the digital assistant to not only provide a superior experience for the customer or for the employees once they've been hired, but we're also looking at it and saying, this is really going to be great for candidates. And there are sites that exist that are out there where we have live interactions for candidates and helping them understand more about the company that has posted it out there, and they find that they're actually getting a lot more direct hires as a result of providing that capability within the application. The Learn and Grow solution really focuses in, and if you heard about this, it's the growing that skills-based enterprise. That is the hottest thing that we're talking about these days because it's what the analysts have talked about, but it makes sense. The decomposition of jobs into skills so that those skills can be used in many different ways. And then not just having one big job that you're working on, but the ability to go ahead and have different gigs, the ability to have different assignments that might be more varied. You know, I may end up getting a little bored with the primary work that I'm doing now, but I can spice it up by going over and working on this opportunity. It's a special project that we're working on with a new partner, and that may satisfy my itch to learn more, and it may give me opportunity to gain more experience. The other thing that we're doing is we're automating that skills process, because that was the big problem that we had with skills, was that you had to create an ontology and then you had to manage it. And that's the number one reason why skills management was a weak point in many HR systems, was because once the person that had the passion for those processes left the organization or was promoted, that ontology tended to fall apart. When we automated it, which is what we've done, we're actually using this as a way for not only us to provide you a standard skills ontology that's accumulated from all the opt-in customers that we've worked with, but it also then takes directly from your skills and then it infuses it with your language so that we can then provide recommendations to managers, to workers, and the like. And this becomes the basis for us developing the next, which is that career path selection, which is the empowerment part that we're talking about. It's a blending of, we're recommending the right training for you, the right engagements at the right intervals that go beyond compliance-driven training to look at career development training. And the overlay on this is with something that's called Oracle Grow, that it says, based upon your current inventory of skills, here are the valuable career paths that you can choose. And by the way, people with your background, we have found that they actually do really well in this skill path or this career path. And then we also have other ways to go ahead and show you, if you're interested in exploring new opportunities, where your experience is going to be a benefit for you as well. So we bring that together. And you saw, remember the first ARC slide that I had, and that was the Oracle Cloud HCM solution. But what I just explained to you is really summarized in something that we released last year, which is just a combination of different applications that enables us to improve the employee experience across the suite. And that's called Oracle Me. And most recently, we have introduced that Grow component, which is the automated intelligence around career development. Some of the really interesting things that you're going to see here is that these are all native applications. They are all built in. They're all really with that power of one. They do provide us the ability to deliver on all of those points that I just shared with you. And I think I've probably spoken enough, and I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to my partner, to Megan O'Brien, who's going to put real business functions that we're delivering within the application right on top of the context that I had just referred to. So Megan, are you ready?
Yes, Guy, thank you. And you were right on time. So great job there. Hi, everyone. My name is Megan O'Brien. I am a principal solution engineer with Oracle. So I help to demo our products, and I'm very excited to be here. I hope Guy got you excited. I love listening to him talk about what we're doing with our solutions, and I'm excited to show that to you. Really quickly, before I jump into the product, I just want to make sure we were good on no chats, answering anything, Charlotte or Eric, before I kind of hop in.
I haven't seen anything come through, so I think you're good.
Great, thank you. All right, so the first thing I just want to do is introduce myself by letting you know that we're our own customer. So Oracle utilizes our solution. What you saw Guy just show on that slide is what I'm going to be demoing today, the Oracle Me with the Oracle Grow. And this is what we call connections. And you can see it has all my information. I can look at my org chart. I can put things about me, right? So my colleagues can search for different things. I can have tags. I can have links out to my LinkedIn profile, ARIA profile. These are all my achievements and badges that I've gotten for training over the years, and then feedback from my colleagues. So this is a great way for employees to connect, It's not just a directory, but it's also helping to find your peers and have collaboration across the organization. So
And
just
Megan,
yes.
sorry to interrupt. I think for some reason we're not seeing your screen yet.
Okay, let's see here. Thank you for letting me
Yeah.
know. Okay, now can you see it?
Yes.
Thank
Fantastic.
you, Aaron. I appreciate that. So this is our connections. I'll show you a little bit more in the product. But basically, again, like I said, it's an integrated employee directory and organizational chart with personal employee profile pages, making it easy to find your peers. Like I said, I could put stuff about myself. I can tag certain things, list my interests, what my expertise are, have LinkedIn profile and ARIA profile attached, my achievements, and then feedback. Sorry, I wasn't sharing that before, but I just like to introduce myself this way because at Oracle, we are our own customer. And this is how we connect and collaborate a lot with our solution. So now I'm going to go ahead and flip over to the product here, software. And I'm going to turn my video off because I'm getting a little feedback here. So I hope you don't mind that. Great. So what you're looking at is basically the landing page for our solution. I'm in today as Marie Avery. Just for the sake of time, Marie is an employee manager and an HR leader. So we're going to look at a couple ways that she manages the solutions from an employee perspective and from a manager perspective and from an HR perspective as well. So you can see she's got a global search bar. This is another way for her to dive into transactions. A little notification bell here as well. You'll see she's got a task already to take a survey, which we'll talk about later. And then as I move down the page, we have these suggestions, and these are AI suggestions. And if I click on this little, why am I seeing this? It's letting you know that users like me do this often. Grow Today has been very popular with users. So this is AI recommendations based on what I do and how I work with the solution, but also what other people in my roles are doing. Or let's say it's performance review time, that could be popping up too. And then you see the me tab, my team tab, my clients group. But this is a role-based solution. So depending on the level of access I have with our solution, provides me with these tabs to do more items here with employee self-service, manager self-service. As I continue to scroll down the page, there's another area with things to finish. So just a user preference. The notification bell has the same thing, but some people like that notification bell and some people like to go ahead and approve from the things to finish area. And then as I continue to scroll down, there's news and announcements. So this is a way to obviously push those news and announcements out for the organization. And then I also have some analytics. So because I am a manager and have some HR access as well, I have analytics on my homepage. These can be personalized, but these are real-time analytics and they're multidimensional. So if I'm looking at this talent sourcing, I can click right into there and it's actually taking me to the campaign goal page of that particular recruiting requisition, email metrics, etc. So they can be diving off points to areas in the solution, but also again, multidimensional where I can take a deeper look. So if I wanted to take a deeper look at, average time to fill, I'm able to drill into that and get a better understanding of current openings, acceptance rates, time to fill, offer extended and accepted. So a lot of delivered reports within our solution, again, making it easy for you when you come in to start your day, really get a pulse on the organization and be able to drill into some analytics that have a very depth and breadth with all the information that we have. And again, out of the box, and you can personalize your dashboards as well. So depending on your position within the organization, you can choose what you see. Additionally, we have our Oracle Digital Assistant, and this is just another way to engage with our solution. You can see that it's already suggesting some certain items for me to do. So I'm going to go ahead and say, are there any approvals? So the digital assistant provides conversational assistance with AI to help employees get questions answered and tasks completed. And if you remember, the digital assistant is a part of our Oracle Me modules, and it works across multiple channels. So you can also use it through Teams, Slack, SMS, and desktop. But we can see I have approvals. I'm not going to do that, but it gives me a link to approve these. I'm just going to hit done to end approvals here. But the digital assistant also retrieves information and can recommend solutions. So if I want to look at manager actions, maybe I want to promote someone today, right? I can do that through the digital assistant, and it's going to prompt me with recommended solutions, what I need to do first, being able to navigate elsewhere in the solution to initiate a promotion, reminding me to, look at the updated goals. So again, really helping to complete tasks beyond simple transactional conversations with the digital assistant. And the digital, yes, is there a question?
Yeah, it's Guy.
Hi,
So
yes.
the question I have on this one is that you're looking at it and just showing us, all right, this is really cool. And you mentioned very quickly Slack and Teams. Does that mean that I don't even have to go into the application to access HR data?
That is correct. You're able to utilize Teams and Slack as well as your SMS and desktop. But to that point, yes. So for example, I was going to show HR help desk through here. So if I wanted to look at FAQs, I could do this from Slack or Teams, and it's going to interact the same way without having to log into the solution.
And that shows me here, that's kind of that work my way. So tying back to those things that employees were saying, that's kind of the work my way approach, is that if I am always in Teams and I want to be able to ask a question, I don't necessarily have to understand that it's in Oracle someplace. The system just knows and it goes to that source for me, right?
That is correct. Yes.
Cool. That is cool.
And the digital assistant does come out of the box with nuances, but it can also be trained, and it learns over time using AI for predictions and recommendations based on the user preferences and data as well. So allowing you to, get tasks done, but then, like you said, whatever your work preference is, if I want to stay on Slack, which Oracle does use Slack, and that's how I do it, it's just great to have that across the different platforms. So I did, one of our other modules on the Oracle Me is HR Help Desk. So our HR Help Desk allows you to deliver, quick and consistent, intelligent HR services to every employee with a unified solution that can track service requests to closure. So we have a lot of customers that have really reduced the calls and emails into HR, because through self-service, I can, look at frequently asked questions. I can also create a ticket. Doing it through the digital assistant is just one way I can create a ticket. I could also go to the HR Help Desk page, but this is a simplified way. And by the way, I am showing you on desktop today, but this is voice command. So I could do this on my cell phone, and I can talk to text. So you're able to have that flexibility as well. But I asked a frequently asked question about what to expect in my workplace. So if I still needed help, if I clicked into these, it'll give me links to the frequently asked questions documents, but I could create a request from here. So if I still didn't have the answer I wanted, let's say I need help with ergonomics for my home office, right? So it's going to let me know, how would you like to categorize this? And that you can change that. You don't have to do that. Sometimes they might not know. I'm just going to say HR compliance here, but that's just another way to route it to the proper team that's, with handling the tickets in the background. And then it's giving me a description. Everything looks great. So I'm going to go ahead and create that request, and instantly it's going to let me know my request number, and I can manage those from a dashboard as well. I do see some questions. Are we good, Charlotte? Anything on that I need to address before I move on?
The question is, and I see Guy typing, but this one is a pretty fun one. So what is the typical effort needed to implement the digital assistant? So how can they, make it their own? I see Guy typing, so feel free to, let him type or call it out, whatever you want to do there.
Sure. Well, I'm sure Guy will be a little more thorough, but as I mentioned, it does come out of the box with nuances, and you can train it and it learns over time. So you do have that functionality to be able to do that. And I'm sure, like I said, Guy might have a little bit more details in there, but if we need to answer that more thoroughly, I'm happy to continue on that, or let Guy come off and add anything to that.
I'll put the response in the Q&A.
Okay, perfect. All right, great. So we are excited. We just released Oracle Grow. And Grow is a new AI-driven unified career experience that dynamically connects everything you need, from learning to skills growth to career mobility, in really one hyper-personalized experience. So I'm going to go ahead and use my suggestions. As you see, it's a suggestion here. Again, this is based on AI and what's popular today with users. So this gives employees a holistic view and a consumer-grade experience to really help them understand growth initiatives and what they need to do next. So this page is unique to every user because it's interacting with the system. So the system is looking at workforce data, HR data, like effective dates, assignments, skills, and then delivering targeted insights as well as actions and recommendations. So it's really empowering businesses to define skills related to particular jobs so employees know exactly what they need. So right now we're looking at Marie in her current role, and we can see there's an area of things to finish. So what tasks are next that she needs to complete for her current role? As I continue down the page, we have her current learning, and if you notice, it's prioritized for her due date, so she can make sure that she's getting that current learning done. And then she also has some recommended learning. And she could even add these development courses or recommended learning, almost like adding a music to a playlist. So you can create your own journey, or you can utilize other journeys as well and add them to your profile. And I'll talk a little bit more about journeys in just a moment and dive deeper, but journeys provides a step-by-step workflow guidance to help employees really complete professional and personal activities in one user experience. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But you can really create a journey. And what they're doing is that you're allowing them to create their own goal-based learning playlist with multiple ways to develop, such as learning and development, coaches, there's classes, there's gigs. So really helping them to create this content for an outstanding career development path. And again, this is targeted learning. So it's specific to the skills, the attributes that Marie is looking to acquire. I can see if I took this Lean Six Sigma green belt, that I'm actually going to obtain the international business and marketing skill. So I'm constantly able to upskill and learn new things and understand what skills are needed for the next job or learning and development. As I mentioned before, there's gigs down here. There's also ambassadors that can help me, mentor me to get me to that next level. And then, like I said, with the skills, which I'll dive into a little bit more, it's all embedded in the skills platform. So Grow is driven by skills and other workforce data, as I mentioned. But as your skills change, the system recalibrates the recommendations. So it is constantly providing new skills and understanding where I'm trying to go in career development. And again, I'll dive a little bit more into skills, but you can see for this agile project management, if I wanted to go ahead and mark that as something I'm working on, I'm trying to develop that. It's letting me know the ambassadors and opportunities and training that can help me to get that skill. And then I can rate myself on this. So I'm a beginner. Once I do that, it's letting me know, again, the resources. And then I can also ask for recommendations. So these are people that are going to endorse me that I'm working on this and help me to accomplish that skill. So what's really cool with the Grow, I mean, all of this is really cool. I love it all. But this, I think, is amazing because you actually she's got a visual career path to show how she can progress. And it's different, suggested on future roles. So someone might not be a change manager, they want to be a regional manager instead, but it's not one direct path to get to a director. You have choices here. So the different suggested future roles based on how others have progressed in the role before landing a director. And then with Grow, employees can basically take the guesswork out of what will help them to level up in their role or get them into the next role. And it's acting as a personalized development coach. So, Oracle Grow looks at, again, all employee data and uses AI to continuously deliver the most relevant growth opportunities for me that'll help me to be successful today and tomorrow. So if I'm interested in going in this senior role, right, because I'm a business process, if I select that, I now have a clearer vision of the senior management role, what skills I have based on what's required to move into this next position. Additionally, I have a functional competencies, so I can see where my target level is and my current level. So again, specific details on how I can help to get that senior management position. And it's a whole resource area employees have to understand what they need to move forward. I can see, I can add goals. So it looks like I would need to be able to speak French for this particular position. But then I can look at open jobs that might help me with obtaining this as well. So if I click into the marketing analyst or specialist, excuse me, I can see the job description. There's some videos, and because it's on one unified platform, I can apply very easily. As you see, my skills and qualifications have already come over into this application because it's on one unified platform. So it knows everything that I have in terms of skills and qualifications, so I don't have to fill that out, and helping with really, internal mobility. So going back here, I also can subscribe to job alerts. So, it's letting you know constantly about opportunities, and really, providing you new recommendations and really one optimized experience of what it takes to be successful, not only in my current role, but also in a future role. So if I click on the grow your career, it's now even recommended for my career of interest because it knows I'm trying to get that senior manager role. And I can look at new gigs, and again, based on the future role versus the role I'm in right now. Now, I did want to come or talk a little bit more about skills, because this is, extremely important with everything that we're building and with our HCM platform. So I'm going to go ahead and click on skills. And this is the skill center. And this is a centralized place really for employees as well as managers to manage dynamic skills. So it's AI-driven recommendations. It drives connections, coaching, development, as well as new opportunities, right, to individuals to go through their entire employment journey for continuous growth. So basically, a skills-based enterprise enables greater flexibility, right? So this allows your employees to build skills so they're more versatile, and they can go in numerous directions for the career development. So you can see on the left, now again, you've seen these all over the different pages. This is the main skill center, but again, one unified platform. All of this is working together, right? We have career development, working with talent, working with skills, working with everything on one unified platform, including recruiting, making it easy for me to understand what I need to accomplish and the career path I have. So right now, these are skills I'm developing. These are skills I have, as you saw earlier. I can look at who's endorsed me on those. And I can, re-rate myself if I am maybe now an intermediate instead of a beginner on that, and being able to get more endorsements on that. Now, as I select these skills, this is all AI. So as I select them, it's recommending additional skills. Now, these skills can be selected by myself. They can be assigned by my manager or recommended by individuals. And then driven AI skills, are keep coming recommended, and I can basically add that to my profile, showcase my talent. Now, what this is, so we have these skills, over 130,000 skills with 16,000 job titles associated. So what this is it's based on a global skills model for millions of industry records, mapping and relating global skills and job data across businesses. So we use this model to build a customer inventory tailored to the DNA of your business. So we would use your unique language, culture, and industry. And then that skills assistant, what you're looking at here, sources and detects skills from structured and unstructured data, and then maps the relations to each other and to the job titles that are driving the comprehensive and ever-changing inventory skills. So with our adaptive AI, it's also maintaining your organizational inventory of skills as employees, candidate, HR, and manager uses the system, keeping them fresh and accessible basically to all the talent process. And then, of course, with this and how this works, it's providing AI best matching for people, jobs, resources. So best candidates for jobs and gigs, courses for learners, best successors for roles, and also can help to identify any skills gaps and initiate, critical reskilling and upskilling activities to really support strategic goals. So I said a lot there. Just want to make sure that we're good on questions and the skills, dynamic skills. Perfect. So the Skills Center creates an interactive experience that not only engages employees, but it also allows them, as we've been seeing, to develop their own career path and be able to see what could lie ahead if they choose to develop certain skills. So I can see at the top of this page too, there's more recommendations. So again, one unified platform, all the learning catalog and everything is at my access, right? So I can go ahead and add additional learning if I want to do that. It also provides me with best matching of people, so the career ambassadors, jobs, as well as gigs. And, gigs is just another opportunity to gain skills through undertaking a variety of roles that might be outside the normal job. So our opportunity marketplace supports personal and professional development, and associates can set preferences for opportunity they're interested in, seeking out internal gigs, as well as open jobs. So again, being able to gain skills through, a variety of roles outside their normal job. So going into a gig, again, all this is skills based, right? It's skills related, so that, our organization has a better idea of what skill set everyone in the organization has across the board. And so I'm looking at this coordinator. I already have 2 out of the 5 skills that are required for this position. I can see who's the team on this particular gig, and I could apply to that gig as well. Now, when I applied the gig, if you notice, it's asking me if my profile is up to date. Now again, as you saw earlier with connections is another part of Oracle Me. So I showed you mine earlier, and this is Marie's. So she, again, has, able to see org charts about me, her skills that she's developing, experience, and the feedback. So again, this is a, employee directory with personal employee profile pages, making it easy to find peers and, like I said, really foster that cross-functional collaboration. Right. And it also enables managers to easily access information about their teams in regards to backgrounds, interests, skills, and aspirations as well.
So I'm going to give you a chance to catch your breath.
Thank you. I need a sip of water.
And get a sip of water. But one of the things that I always get asked, because I know that we tend to live in this world of new names and 3-letter acronyms, and sometimes we just forget that, that we live in a world that's very focused on technology. But when you mention gigs, you've mentioned temporary workers, you've mentioned looking for different assignments and things of that nature. Are you finding that customers are seeing an increase in the number of different types of assignments, or the decomposition of really big jobs that are loosely defined into much more skills-driven jobs? Are you seeing a lot of that in the customers you're working with, Megan?
Yes, I have. And I mean, skills, obviously, I've said that word a million times, but it is what's top of mind for all of our customers. So because as I mentioned before, it gives more versatility for employees to understand they don't necessarily need to go down one road for career development. It's opening them up to other experiences, other types of skills that they can gain, meeting more people within the organization, right? So like, I might not know that my HR skills qualify me for a position in marketing, you know what I mean? So absolutely. And that gigs is a great way to do that, because you're not necessarily going to a job, you're helping out with, a campaign or a marketing event or something like that. And it's exposing you to new skills and allowing you to have a lot of versatility.
Well, it's also a chance, I think, and this is the one thing that I know I pointed out to a couple customers at Cloud World last year, because they were asking questions around this. I said, but now you have a chance to try this out without having to invest in a lot of infrastructure and a lot of different, backgrounds and ontologies. The system will do it for you. And if you don't like it, don't use it. If you like it, then you can keep on using it.
Right. Absolutely.
So I guess that helps us get back to that point of, the old sayings that out of the Harvard Business and Sloan School of Management, if you're going to fail fast, and all of those good things. But what that equals realistically on the positive note is, if I'm going to succeed, I want to succeed fast. I want to know if this works for my team. And I think that's what you're sharing with us here, is that we have a chance to try things out, low and no risk, and be able to take advantage of it very, very quickly.
Yes, and that was a great segue. I know that we didn't practice that, but that's exactly where I'm heading next, because as a manager, it's really important to understand how your team's performing in terms of skills achievement. So with our team skills center, as a manager, this, gives her the insights and tools to ensure her team is on the right track. They're cultivating the skills they need to move themselves forward, as well as the business forward. So what we're looking at here is some of the skills that she's assigned to her team. And she can see her top core skill achievers, the bottom ones, and then also diving into, she can get a better look at per employee, right? Of how each are performing, on the skill set. And how they're doing on the requirements. She can assign a core skill. So this can be based off person, her direct reports, the whole organization, the job. Now, again, as I mentioned earlier, this is a role-based solution. So only if I have the access to do that. But again, she's a HR leader as well. So she does have that. And then additionally, the type of skill that she can assign as well. So in this case, we're looking at skill type core, right? These are core skills that she's assigned by Marie to her team, but she can also assign by role or use other, which are not core or role related, but that have been assigned to an employee directly in the skill center. So for example, by the employee themselves, by a manager or a peer, or an outcome, from a successful completion of learning. And then additionally, she can also view achievement towards each core skill that she's assigned to the team. So if we drill into adaptability, she can drill in and take a deeper look at and see more details in regards of her team's achievement. So we can see 3 people have already reached that required level 4, and she's got a whole bunch of people that are still trying to accomplish that skill. So again, being able to give your managers tools to understand who is performing at what level, the skills they're getting done, and then helping them with that career development as well. And then additionally, another tool that's part of our Oracle Me is touch points. And what touch points does is it really focuses on strengthening employee and manager relationships. So it starts with the survey, right? And basically we have this GOAT survey here. So this is a pulse survey. And basically touch points is an active employee listening and engagement solution that allows managers and employees to really capture and take action around employee sentiment. Guy was talking a little bit about this today. So Marie can engage with this quick pulse survey. She's saying, I'm feeling great today. And then as soon as that happens, obviously that pulse survey is short, it's easy, that's configurable as well, very easy to configure. And typically we're seeing our customers send it out weekly to understand the sentiment of their organization, but you could distribute it daily, monthly, there's flexibility there as well. But taking this pulse survey allows her to share her current sentiment, giving her a voice, which is, visible to her and her manager. And we can see her ups and downs, right? So she might be feeling good now, but she wasn't back in March. So this is recognizing highs and lows to allow managers to have those conversations, right? And she can see her sentiment over time and understand too what was going on when she maybe wasn't feeling at her best. And then she can also see various feedback and check-ins with managers and colleagues, and even celebrations. So she clicks on this little one. Keith remembered it was her birthday. So another way to collaborate and, provide recognitions for her contributions in the workplace or just her birthday. And in addition,
so coming back on this one, that's really their like finding belonging. Remember one of those touch points that I talked about in the beginning? That's kind of ticking the box there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then also she has, these recommendations or nudges to help her to reach out to other people as well.
Aren't there other systems that do nudges and stuff though? Can I like buy something else and have it provide nudges?
I believe that there's something, but since this is all in one platform, this is all built in natively. But of course we have APIs, with that. I don't know if there was something specific, Guy.
I didn't know if you wanted to go ahead and just say, well, why would you buy it when you get it?
Right. So yeah, she can, she gets these nudges, but she can give feedback, celebrate events. And again, this helps employees and managers to maintain regular check-in cadences with a single place to schedule and view past and upcoming check-ins. Now, that was from an employee perspective. So Marie just took her pulse survey. So from a manager perspective, let's go into team touch points here. So as a manager, it also provides her with insights and recommendations to support her team day to day. So that was her, what's going on with her. Now what she's looking at is her team. So you can see her direct reports, all reports, organization. And it provides her again with insights and recommendations to support her team. So Touchpoints fosters basically tighter feedback loops between managers and employees so they can have more meaningful day-to-day interactions. And the intent of this is really to move the needle on engagement and performance. So you can see we have team average interactions compared to the organization, team average check-ins compared to check-ins with the organization as well. So, she can see how she's measuring up against what the organization is doing, right? And she can, see a consolidated view of the pulse surveys, providing direct feedback for mechanisms that, can essentially help her measure how her team is tackling everyday challenges while assessing these trends over time. So she can view the pulse scores as well down here and see upcoming check-ins and complete, any additional interactions that she needs to with her team by clicking on the employee tab. So if I want to drill in specifically, now I can see individually what their pulse scores trends are for each person on my team. And so I'm going to go ahead and drill into Paul. And, understanding her team's sentiment helps her to provide a personalized level of support for every person. So drilling into this, again, I can see individual sentiment for Paul. And I can see, obviously his ups and downs and all that good stuff. And again, here I have these recommendations and nudges. So, Touchpoints really helps Marie by making personalized recommendations that keeps interactions timely, relevant, and engaging. And these nudges and recommendations are AI-driven touch points. So the system's taken a look at Paul's talent record and recommended some areas for discussion. So these nudges provide, direct links to recommended engagement actions based on the interactions, such as giving feedback and employee data. So if I want to go ahead and add a check-in, you can see I have recommended topics. So these are AI recommended topics that come from goals or development, performance plan, even feedback from peers and colleagues. Again, because it's on one unified solution. So if I want to, I'm going to have this check-in with Paul later, right? And I want to definitely congratulate him on completing his learning and his anniversary. I can select goals that we want to talk about. So maybe I want to elevate his active listening skills. And then, like I said, feedback. So I see 2 other people have given him feedback. Definitely going to add that. And you can see it's adding them to the list here. So what this is this is a structured, relevant check-in that's in draft mode. And it'll be shared with Paul. So if he has any topics or content or comments to add, he can do that here. So this visibility allows Marie a simple way to engage, manage, and record these discussions with their team, and giving this area so it's nice and organized and they can have effective meetings. Additionally, giving feedback, right? So I can provide feedback to Paul or celebrate an event. So I see that it says that his anniversary is coming up, so I can change the little pictures, add a title, whatever you want to do. But these are just the little things that make employees feel acknowledged, recognized, and again, really helping to be better informed, providing coaching through AI recommendations, again, to have more meaningful day-to-day interactions and drive better engagement.
All right, so Megan, again, as we're looking at this seems like a great place for us to kind of add in like points or tokens or something like that Paul could use to maybe shop at the company store. Is that something that you guys are looking at doing?
Yes, I believe so. I think we were, and I don't know if you know more about that than I did, but I did hear that we're going to be having that, not like trophies. I'm blanking on what we were calling them.
Rewards and recognition?
Yes.
There we are. Because again, what we're looking at are ways that realistically you're finding ways as an organization that hey, I want these, people are getting good feedback. We're actually encouraging each other. It's great when a peer gives you the recognition that you're looking for. And by the end of the year, and I know it was a leading question, you guys knew that before as I was even asking it, but you're going to be able to accumulate points, we have relationships that are coming in with awards companies, whether it ends up being that Starbucks card, or it's going to end up being an Amazon card, or it's going to end up being whatever else that you would have, whoever you're all working with, we're going to have marketplaces that you can deal with that. But the more important thing is that we're looking at it as ways that we can actually influence the connectivity here. And I think this is part of that feel understood component from the manager perspective and the employee perspective. We're ticking off the boxes one at a time here, Megan, about going through and looking at the requirements of meeting all the challenges that the new workforce is really looking for. So we've hit find belonging, feel understood, working my way, and then learn and grow. Wow, you're ticking all the boxes. This is awesome.
Well, another way to learn and grow too, is through our journeys. And I wanted to touch a little bit on that because journeys allows you, and that's also a part of our Oracle Me. It helps to orchestrate step-by-step guidance that is personalized with contextual information, so you can use journeys as a flow of day-to-day work. But we've made some new enhancements that include the ability to automatically redirect an employee to a personalized journey when selecting an HR action. So for example, I'm on my team tab, notice my quick actions change depending on if I'm me. These are more employee self-service. And now my team, this gives me quick actions. So if I wanted to promote someone, say Jen, it's taking me into a journey. So the redirection is based on the specific needs and comprehensive understanding of each employee. Now, to Guy's point too, we can have journeys that help with career development, with growth. And it's, as you saw earlier on the grow page, you can create a journey, same. So I wanted to show some new functionality of the journey, because as a manager, it's now going to ensure that, I'm going to watch a movie on, salary increase. It's going to help me understand the internal pay equity, right, of where my team's at before making these decisions. I can add that to a calendar. So the journeys can be links to external, web pages. It can be documents, but obviously with our solution, it also can be redirect you within the solution itself. So if I'm ready to submit this promotion transaction, it's taking me directly to the promote page where I can fill out that information. So as I mentioned, it's a newer enhancement. The contextual guided journey helps employees make informed decisions during the journey by surfacing contextual analytics, training, and instructions. So again, it really helps employees complete important activities faster and with less frustration.
I know I would have been apprehensive about trying to request a promotion because I'm afraid that I would be missing a step. I end up having the promotion kicked back to me. I probably would have already spilled the beans to my employee because that's just who I am. You're supposed to let this build up and be so you're telling me now that all of that's going to be there. But what if it was different, if the rules are different, maybe by a different country, that I need to consider different information? Is that something that this can also help with?
Yes, 100%. So the journeys can be triggered by transactions in the system, as well as who you are, your location, your department, your country. So for example, yes, that answering that guy, because since it's role-based, it knows what country I'm in, what location. So there might be different rules for doing this for each country, right? So absolutely, it would be targeted and personalized to that user. And journeys isn't just, I'm giving you an example of a promotion. Of course, we think of onboarding and offboarding with a journey, but it's other events. So like if I just told the system I had a baby, it's going to kick me off a journey that's about enrolling my baby into my benefit plans. Or if I got married, a journey on what I need to do. Do I need to change my W-2 or W-4, excuse me. And again, like you said, a promotion. So it really helps to have one user experience while going through these types of tasks and making sure that you're not missing anything and keeping that compliance, right? Because of the different departments or locations. So 100%.
So the other thing that's really interesting here is that the authoring process, and we don't have time to go through a lot of that right now, but this is really designed for the HR user and HR administrators, HR line of business, HR partners, we tend to call them, but you can go in and you can create these and you can put, if then else, it's a no code. It's basically drag and drop, create the flows. But the other thing is that our partners have gotten in on the act as well. And they're providing, here's some great templates that you can use for, you just had a baby. Well, and here's a journey that we have, and it's already done up for, we have a baby boy, or we have a baby girl, or we have, we just added a new family member, or congratulations on your promotion. So many different things that are in there, and those will automatically execute when the individual, when you select it. I think it's what this is really putting the pressure on is the fact that we want to enable people to do self-service themselves without them feeling apprehensive about completing a task.
Absolutely. And making it much more enjoyable and interactive. I mean, when you know the list of things that you need to do and you're not missing any steps, then it's nice and, easy to follow. But, and to your point, Guy, we do journeys. We do have a lot out of the box that our customers can utilize. Right. But to your point, yes, we have a lot of customers that go to Customer Connect and grab some, in terms of analytics as well. And that's a big way they've been sharing that data too.
And this is the other point is the fact that I know that a lot of these systems that you get out there, they're difficult to configure, they're difficult to use, but then they require a bunch of clicks. And this is great because what we found is that you're actually reducing the number of clicks that a employee would take, making sure they understand what they're accepting or learning about, but then also being able to move on, or if necessary, we want to make sure do you really understand that before you press this button, you really mean that? And then, you can put them through some remediation or branching logic. So those are all really cool things that I've seen customers work with.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. And the cool thing too, as I mentioned before, Guy, with triggering based on, if I were to add a dependent, right, it would trigger a journey for having a child, etc. But we also have this new Communicate, which is part of our Oracle Me, where you can actually send targeted journeys via email as well. So again, this is part of our Oracle Me. And basically, Communicate allows you to have HR-driven and designed end-to-end employee communications to engage specific employee groups with shared characteristics. So it really allows HR to be in control of workforce communications, determine the audience, choose what they want to communicate, as well as how many meaningful communications are needed as part of each campaign. So you're able to design, distribute, and then measure the results of the workforce and have follow-up campaigns as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click in. We'll just go into this Empower one, but here you can see the different email campaigns, this campaign is promoting internal career choices to specific group employees. So you can see the click rate, the open rate. And this particular one is asking them to reflect about future career options. So immediately I'm presented with these metrics and tracking how the campaign is gaining traction. I can see, like I said, the click-through rate, which helps me know if I need some retargeting follow-up, to improve some of these statistics. And then I have a nice little pie chart here tracking who's reading, responding, and acting on the communications directly from this user interface. So this is a targeted, as I mentioned, the journey. So this is a targeted journey. This particular communication leads them to a targeted journey, and it guides them through different steps based on their choices. So if we want to take a look at the audience, here's where I can see the different locations, and that's based on worker location or top business unit. You can define precise audience members for each campaign by using any employee or workforce structure data from the cloud HCM. And that's really important for some of my customers, because I do have some customers that are using third-party marketing tools. So they're spending their time and money trying to collect the right emails to list or to have on a distribution list and to distribute communication to the right populations, which has been really challenging. So now with Communicate, it's all a part of the HR application. You have all the workforce data so that you can send it to a group based on job codes, departments, state, etc., giving you the ability to target the right population every time.
Well, and targeting is what that's all about, because I think that as you get into this, Megan, this is about segmentation and getting the right message to the right people at the right time. You can actually go down to the employee level if you needed to. I know that when I was doing a lot of work in operations research, it was all about, and in marketing, it was all about targeting and making sure that you're getting the right individuals at the right time. So I was really pleased to see this come out as part of Oracle Me, and with the flexibility that's involved here. And actually, we deployed this in another place within our applications as well. So not just for communicating with the current workforce, but also communicating with the people that are in your talent pool. And that's done in Recruiting Booster, but it's the same capability, the same types of functionality that I can actually message out to potential employees that we're working with as well. So this is a common ask that we get from a messaging standpoint, and we have the ability to address it in many different areas.
Yes. And our customers are really excited about this. I've demoed this Communicate a lot lately because of, like I mentioned, them having to use third-party marketing and paying for that. And now they have the HR data. So it was an easy decision for them to start utilizing this. And so if you saw, I just clicked into one of the content items area. So this is where you create and design and distribute the emails. So you can create different email sender profiles that you can use when you create emails for the communication campaigns. You can have multiple templates. So that's just enabling, faster templates to produce. Sender profiles help campaign managers to send emails on their behalf as well as senior management. So obviously, again, role-based, giving someone HR the access to create and send out on behalf of the CEO or CFO to really create impactful communication. And then you can see, so this is, obviously our little branded, email, but this is what it would look like for them to get that. And so if you see right here, we've enabled a button that says choose your path. So when the employees get this communication, it's going to take me right to a journey, and I'm able to watch a video, empower myself. I love what I do. Am I interested in change? So, really bringing in, like I said, a targeted journey based on, how they're feeling empowered by the organization.
Well, if I chose that other step, would I get the same components? Because I think that when that's one of those areas where that branching logic comes in, you could, if you choose it, it will actually give you unique next steps.
For what? I'm sorry,
when we went back and you said, hey, I love what I do, or I want to explore new capabilities. And I know that you've already clicked through. Yeah, like if I'm interested in a change, what you'll see is that it's actually different. It's a different set of steps that it gives you. So that's always a question that we get, is that how sophisticated is this? And is it too difficult for me to use? But no, you have the ability to go ahead and put in here. It's like, depending on your choices, you can go down different paths.
Yeah.
And that was something that when we initially, if you've looked at us, a year ago when we were doing this was an example of us continuing to invest in enhancing the capabilities of journeys, and then showing you the fact that we responded quickly to a customer's request to say, it would be great if you did this, and we embedded it within 1 quarter, within the next release.
Yeah.
Megan,
So
I have a question to bring up live before we continue on.
Sure.
And it's surrounding Communicate. Now, the question is, would we suggest this functionality for maybe replacing a community newsletter, or is this for a specific communication? And I think, Communicate is great for such an array of things. So I thought you might want to bring this one up live.
Yeah, and you can do it for both. So that was something that came up recently with the customer, because so from the body of this email, this is what the email looks like. You can have buttons or links to direct them on where they need to go. So one of our customers did ask if they could create a newsletter like this. I think you could. I don't see why not, because you do have some flexibility. But I did check, there wasn't like a standard template where you can have like columns. I did just get that question, but I'm sure that's roadmap, because I've gotten that twice now, which, by the way, all of our innovation ideas, for the majority of them, come from our customers, as Guy was mentioning before. So, this is a newer product, and we're continuing to enhance it constantly. So yes, you could, to answer your question, you could use it as a newsletter, you could send it out. there's probably going to be more flexibility and even more functionality, I would say. Guy, do you think that would be the case too, as we expand on this since it's so new?
Oh, absolutely. And I think to put a number on it, I know that we like to say that and we actually go back and audit this. We have 80% of the new customer enhancements and features are directly attributable to customer input, and prioritization is associated with that. So, we are listening to you all. That second S in service becomes so important. You all have a say. And that's not just the two people that are able to call the support line that have that kind of, anyone that has a sign in for the system can come out to the community and vote on an idea and suggest an idea, build on a suggestion that maybe someone else had done, and connect with other people within the customer base to bounce an idea off of them. It's like, hey, I'm a little embarrassed about putting this out there. I'm not sure if it's a great idea. And I know that I've had customers come back with stories saying that they've encouraged and said, let's work on it together. And it's a co-commitment or a co-delivery of a requirement. That puts a smile on my face. And it's definitely something that all of our developers take very, very seriously. We end up having more input as well coming in from our salespeople that get great ideas, from our partners that get great ideas, from our customers, and that's fed right back into us. And that's a great way for us to build connections. We look forward to hearing from you all about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Guy. I appreciate additional information there. And I just wanted to come back to this slide, and we're happy to take some more questions, but obviously you heard me talk a lot about Oracle Me, and that is what you saw today. So the HCM Communicate, which we just looked at, allows you to have HR driven and designed end-to-end employee communications to engage specific employee groups with shared characteristics. We looked at touch points. So that's an active employee listening and engagement solution that really allows managers and employees to capture and take action around employee sentiment, really, to strengthen employee and manager relationships. And then we showed you journeys. So allowing you again to orchestrate, step-by-step guided experience that's personalized and now contextual, as Guy, thank you for helping me point that out, Guy. As you saw, when I changed my answer, it was contextual, different, guidance to lead me down the next path for that. So you can use journeys as a part of flow of, day-to-day work. And then we looked at Grow. So that's the first of its kind growth solution that dynamically connects everything you need for learning, skills growth, career mobility, all in one personalized experience. And then Connections, that's I introduced myself on that. But again, an employee directory and organizational chart with personal pages, though, again, providing that cross-functional collaboration. And then we quickly looked at HR help desk. I just did a quick little service, but again, allowing you to deliver quick, consistent, and intelligent HR services to employees with a unified solution to easily track those service requests to closure. And then lastly, the digital assistant. So again, providing conversational assistance with AI to help employees get questions answered and tasks completed. And as Guy mentioned before, obviously we have a complete solution here. And I'm excited that I was able to come and demo for you today. So I know we do have a few more things we want to cover. Are there any questions before I hand it back over to Eric? And Guy, I didn't know if you wanted to add anything as well.
I'll just say thanks for your time today. We continue to innovate. We live every day to help make HR more effective and easier to use for employees, and basically making it something that you can become that employer in the community that people look to when it's the place they want to work. And that's what we're hoping to be able to do, is to become those that are there. And by the way, it's like I put this in the chat. Remember, what does Oracle HCM have in common with the NFL draft that's happening tonight? And I'll leave that one there as kind of the pregnant pause for Eric to come back in, because I bet you he knows the answer.
Aren't they a customer, Guy?
Boom, there you go. I know I'm watching it. I got to order some wings or something, it's good. It's just,
Absolutely.
it seems like the right thing to do.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you letting me demo to you today. And Guy, I appreciate you chiming in there and all that good stuff. So thank you very much. And Eric, I think I'll turn it over to you unless there's any other questions. Charlotte, are we good?
Yes, we're good. I am answering in the chat.
Awesome. Great. Well, thanks so much. Eric, I'll stop sharing so we can proceed with your presentation.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much, Guy and Megan. Great stuff. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you all. And I'd like to introduce my colleague, Bob Moser here. We're going to get into a little bit of background just about eVerge here. And again, stay tuned as we'll be doing some prize drawing here at the end. So let me give it over to Bob.
Great. Thank you, Eric. Guy, great strategic overview there, right, of the application in the last 11 years. I've been working with the Cloud HCM solution since January 1 of 2012. So I have seen the product mature over the last 11, 12 years, really. So what a pleasure that was to hear that. And Megan, great product overview right there of the emerging technology. And that's what really kind of excites me. We've always known for some time now that Cloud HCM is really good at what I would call the core functionality from HR through benefits and payroll, et cetera. But to watch Oracle Me and the functionality around communicate and touch points and help desk and ODA, and right, we can kind of go on and now grow. That's what is really starting to kind of push this application over the edge and really enforcing that user adoption, getting the employees much more engaged and providing all the analytics around the solution. So, as Eric mentioned, we've got just a really short slideshow here. I want to give you a quick, maybe 5-minute overview of eVerge Group and what we do and our history here. So Eric, if you don't mind sharing that, I'd appreciate it. So, hey, we're celebrating our 30th year. We've been an Oracle partner, I think Eric mentioned, right, for 30 years. Did a lot of PeopleSoft, Oracle EBS, legacy application implementations back in the day. But, from a back office standpoint, HCM, ERP, front office, CX, we've just been a great partner of Oracle for the past 30 years. We have within our organization over about 150, and that's actually growing pretty rapidly right now, implementation experts, all certified implementers in their specialties and areas. Based out of Dallas-Fort Worth, we have resources all across the US and in India as well. We've done over 1,000 successful implementations over our 30-year history. And as I mentioned, we started our Cloud HCM practice 11 years ago, and we've done over 100 projects, to this point. We really kind of focus in on multiple different industries, from commercial to public sector. We've had a lot of great experience across manufacturing, construction and engineering, financial services, hospitality, et cetera. You can see some of our logos there. But at the end of the day, it's really about our people. We really like to employ very seasoned, very tenured resources from a functional standpoint, pretty much to a T. Everyone has come out of the business, whether on the HR side of the house or from the finance group. When we think about payroll, as it relates to Oracle Cloud HCM, but just a lot of great experience. We're really kind of well known for really everything across the Oracle Cloud HCM suite of products, but anything global and payroll, complex time requirements, recruiting, et cetera. We've just got a lot of great experience and qualifications and resources really across the board there. And a few of the companies right there, you can see that that's fine, Eric, you can push forward. Organizations that, either recent go lives or current projects in flight. Adecco is a very large global staffing organization. And I think, some of these logos here, and they're going to kind of show you the depth and breadth, right? You're working with Adecco, who's got 80,000 employees in the US, Canada, and Puerto Rico that we're migrating off of 2 very distinct PeopleSoft legacy application instances into the cloud. Adecco's decided it's time to move those applications out of their data centers, right, into Oracle Cloud data centers and take advantage of Oracle Cloud HCM. And really just through a great assessment that our team did, we're really able to show them the value of moving to the cloud and the functionality and the fit within Oracle Cloud. So that's a great project in flight right now. a few others there like Palama Lanai, our great friends over there. Hospitality, based on the island. 500 employees just went live here, kind of the final sort of main phase, if you will, back in December of last year, and really looking at some of those new sort of technologies around help desk, health and safety. Certainly be talking with them, recently, pretty soon here about Oracle Me and Communicate and touch points, BMC software, global, large EBS to cloud migration. We're a cloud customer for many years, just really leveraging talent management and compensation integrated with Oracle EBS, but decided to move to the cloud for all of their HR processes and components. But that's a recent, January of this year, go live. Zachary Construction, working with them right now on some security and workflow enhancements around their cloud HCM implementation and some time and labor functionality and processes there, but 20,000 employees based out of Texas. And Jefferies Financial Group there, they're 4,000 employees globally, cloud HCM customer. We're using Taleo Enterprise from a recruiting talent acquisition standpoint, and they're just a few weeks away from going live on Oracle Recruit Cloud to kind of bring everything together into Oracle Cloud HCM. So just a kind of a really nice grouping of customers there. Just wanted to kind of give you an overview, sort of the depth and breadth and scope of the different organizations that we work with. I just want to point this out real quick. We are, as you saw today, right, in the presentation with Oracle Me, a lot of great new functionality there. So we continue to invest in Oracle Cloud, and not only in new offerings when you think about business processes, but the technology side of it as well. So, we continue to look at, analytics cloud and how to take advantage. If you are an existing, whatever third-party application customer you may be from EBS, UKG, PeopleSoft, whatever it is, right? We can migrate you to the Oracle Cloud payroll application. We built payroll parallel testing analytic comparison tool using Oracle technology to help streamline that implementation. The Fusion Analytics Warehouse, what a great new offering around FA, right? To be able to take advantage of all the delivered analytics and marry cloud HCM data with other third-party application data from an analytics perspective. We have an offering, around that to really teach your organization how to take or really see and realize the value of Fusion Analytics. Cloud Success implementation offering that we have here. Would love to talk to any organizations that's thinking about moving to Oracle Cloud HCM, and just really our sort of predictable turnkey approach to how we deploy Cloud HCM and some of the value around the different offerings we have on how we actually deploy the Oracle Cloud solution. eVerge Live Managed Support, we have a very formalized support group, dedicated resources that do nothing but support the Oracle Cloud HCM application. And those resources based in the US and India, and that's all they do is support live customers. So we're really proud of that program as well. And somebody mentioned earlier, I think in the chat about ODA, we have an offering around ODA. If that's something, that you're interested in, if you're an existing Cloud HCM customer, we can absolutely come in, help your team realize the value around ODA, the delivered skills and intents, and really kind of help stand that up for you in a very rapid approach, right? So you can see the value of not only what's delivered from an ODA standpoint out of the box, but how you can take advantage of that tool and build your own skills and intents that may be specific to your organization to help, answer specific questions that your employees may have based upon your implementation footprint and install. And then just some, great feedback from some of our customers over the years, starting actually from Oracle and Chris Leone, who's really the product owner, if you will, of Oracle HCM Cloud. Just great feedback from him and Wade and Katie over at Life Care Services. They have 18,000 employees, a really sort of large EBS migration to the cloud. So a lot of change management that went on with Life Care Services, but what a great sort of win story that is. And they continue their journey and transformation to the Oracle Cloud. The City of Lincoln and Lancaster there, and then Trinity Industries at the bottom, working with them on supporting their cloud ERP migration, but they're a cloud HCM customer. They're one of our eVerge Live support customers and just doing some continued work within Trinity Industries as well. And then I'm going to just kind of quickly wrap up here, Eric. I'm going to push forward. All right, so just to bring it home, right? And then I think we're going to get to the to why, the good stuff, the fun stuff, right, Eric, on those presents and gifts you've got to give away there. But I probably touched base on these just briefly, but our cloud success implementation offering really just really a flexible approach to how we implement the cloud HCM solution and the different offerings that we have around that. The ability to be pretty flexible from a contractual perspective on how we do this. Cloud HCM Health Check, if you're an existing customer and maybe you want to really look at what are some of the opportunities that we have to take advantage of the application that we're not fully utilizing now. We've got great offerings around health checks, low cost entry points into that, and then eVerge Live support, which I touched upon, that formalized sort of day 2 continuous support, managed support with defined SLAs. So love to talk to any organization, anybody, on this presentation today that has any questions about this. Don't hesitate to reach out to Eric or myself, and we'll be glad to get you all the information that you need. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Eric, but I'm also happy to answer any questions you may have about eVerge Group.
Yeah, no, thank you, Bob. We appreciate it. At the end of the day here, guys, we're really with you and walking this walk with you in that cloud journey. And obviously, at the end of the day, you're investing in not just the present, but also the future. And we want you to be ready for tomorrow today. And that's really our intention here. And you can see a lot of that with our offerings that we provide. So I know we've been waiting for hopefully this moment at the end here to draw some prizes. I wanted to get right to it. So we've got 6 fantastic prizes that we're going to give away to everyone here, to the folks, I guess, that we draw names for. If we do draw your name, we will actually be reaching out to you after the webinar just to, obtain your shipping address and really confirm, like, if there's a particular color or print or some other variety of the item that you want from that prize. So there is some variation with each one of these. So let's go ahead and jump in. So first off, we got prize number 1 here. It's a Yeti Roadie 60-wheel cooler. So you've got a maneuverable beast of a cooler here with enough room, I've been told, to pack over 50 different cans. So it's pretty optimal sized, and it's being shown in white, but you also have it available in navy and charcoal. So you've got some options to choose. So let me go ahead and I will draw a name here. And this is anonymous. All right. And the winner is Martha Barlow. So Martha Barlow will be connecting with you to help you get a Yeti cooler. All right. Next, we've got up here, crafted in Italy. We have a Gucci GD Marmot leather belt, which also comes in a variety of different buckle options. So you've got some adversity here. And the winner is, let me draw. We've got Margaret Santarosa. Margaret Santarosa, you'll be the winner of this Gucci belt. So we'll be in touch after the webinar to connect with you and get you your belt. All right. And then prize number 3 of 6. We've got this Apple Watch Series 8 in aluminum. It's available in a number of different colors. And if you want it, if you're a healthy person, it's really kind of that essential companion for health. It's got temperature sensing and a lot more. So let me go ahead and draw the name. And the lucky winner is Bonnie Lafferty. Bonnie Lafferty, you get the watch. So we'll be in touch on that.
And what's great about that, we can actually connect that to Oracle Cloud HCM and the wellness application.
Absolutely.
I remember that I think we delivered that during one of the events we did in Dallas. We actually delivered that capability.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, Bonnie, you'll be getting if you get Oracle, you can go ahead and take a look at Oracle in your watch. All right, so let's go ahead and next we've got prize number 4. So we've got this elegant, iconic craftsmanship that you get with Tiffany. So we've got the Tiffany bead necklace. And if this is a guy that receives this, you can obviously give it to someone else, but let me go ahead and draw the name. And the winner is Sojanya Bengala. Sojanya Bengala will get in touch with you and give you that.
And the good news is there. So fun fact, Eric, what is Tiffany as related to Oracle Cloud HCM? It's a leading question.
Our customer.
There you go. That's right.
Yes. Yes, they're a great longstanding customer of Oracle. Thanks, Guy. All right, prize number 5. We've got kind of an essential accessory here for the modern traveler. We've got the Louis Vuitton passport cover, and it is available for men and women. It's got some different colors and different types of options around that. So let me go ahead and draw from my bowl here. And the winner is Debbie Adachi. Debbie will be in touch with you with that passport cover. So congratulations. And that brings me to the last, but obviously certainly not the least. Ready to flip some blackjacks on here. You got your outdoor cookout experience with this Blackstone 36-inch outdoor griddle. And the lucky winner is Harish Babu Kandamala. Harish will be in touch with you. You get this Blackstone grill, so congratulations. And with that, that concludes our prize drawing. Thank you all for attending. So if we have any additional questions, I will open it up now for Q&A. We do have some extra time. I know we've got a couple of questions in chat. Are those being addressed?
The questions in chat, any product questions have been answered, and the last couple that have come in are excitement about the fabulous prizes.
All right.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So just real quick, I will say that thank you so much, eVerge, for sponsoring this with us, and then also sharing your successes with our customers here. I'm based in Austin, Texas, and that's Oracle's headquarters. I've worked with eVerge a lot. I definitely will say that as you're looking at organizations that really understand not only where Oracle came from in the cloud, but where we're headed, you've got a great team of folks that really care about what you're doing, about what the future of HR looks like within really a complex enterprise and growing enterprise environment. So again, Eric, you and Bob, thanks so much for your input and your support over the years, and as well for today. So I do appreciate that much. Definitely part of our success, and also an HCM cloud user.
Absolutely. Yeah. A long-term customer too. So thanks so much, Guy and Megan. We appreciate the accolades, and please reach out if you've got questions or thoughts or feedback coming off of this webinar. We really do appreciate everyone's time this afternoon. We know your time's valuable. Bob, I don't know if you had any closing words as well.
I just want to say thank you. And again, very appreciative to Guy, Megan, and Oracle for helping us put this on today.
Yeah. Thank you all. Let us know we can support your success. We look forward to it, and we'll give you some time back in your afternoon. Thank you all.